Welcome back, one and all, to The Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky, 2nd chapter. Last time, we fought our way through this place, saved some bracers, and Estelle got captured. And those fuckers took all my money! What fuckers? I'm gonna fuck them up. Oh yeah, and Estelle is captured. We need to do something about that. Ah, crap. Estelle! This is Estelle. Joshua. Why? It's okay. It's enough. I was always just a broken puppet. I can never go back to being human. So enough. Enough. No. Thank you. Goodbye, Estelle. What a scream. Are you okay, Estelle? Ren? Just a dream. Did you have a scary nightmare? Yeah, total nightmare. Now that freaky doll is even showing up in my dreams, I mean... Wait a second. Ren, what are you doing here? I was wondering when you were going to act all surprised. You're so laid back, Estelle. I love that about you. Yeah, well, forgive me for not being on the ball right after waking up. Anyway, where... It's not so odd for me to be here, you know. We're actually at our brand new base. New base? Look out the window. What? Aboard their giant airship, their their cruiser, the courageous, not the courageous, the glorious. Welcome aboard the Crimson Ark, the Glorious. This ship could beat up an entire army. Don't you think this is just the best toy ever? You people. What are you planning on doing with something like this? Ah, our guest is finally awoken. Welcome aboard, Estelle. I trust your nap was restful. I'm sure you're quite out of sorts being brought aboard with no fanfare. Fear not. We haven't brought you here to cause you any harm. Far from it, in fact. You're free to relax. We don't take a chance to have a night. Why don't we take a chance to have a nice chat? About the society, about our goals, and about our common friend. I think I can answer many of your questions. Not like I have much of a choice. Let's hear it. Excellent. I'll be waiting. Ren, be a darling and show Estelle the way up, would you? Sure. Okay. Come on, Estelle. Let's go to the sanctuary. Sanctuary. It's a really pretty room on top of the deck, on the top deck of the ship. The professor is waiting for us there. All right, show me the way. You don't need to be so serious. I think you'll really like what we have to say. What do you mean? You'll just have to find out. Anyway, follow me. Come on. Oh, it's Ren's leading the way. I got my money back, and they didn't take her gear. Just other rooms. Knockout meatball. No matter where you go in this life, there's always someone looking to take you for all you've got. It happened to me, and it will happen to you. I don't know if that's supposed to be metaphorical or uplifting. Huh. I really don't know if that's supposed to be cautionary or uplifting. Oop, I saw the treasure. Did I miss any treasure chests over this way? None in here. Did I miss one in here? No. Okay. It's over there. It really doesn't want me to explore too much. Enforcer number 15, Ren, Angel of Slaughter. Designation, Sanctuary. Access granted. Welcome, Enforcer Ren. And here we are, the Sanctuary. The professor should be just inside. Ren, what is it? Were you the one controlling that Joshua puppet in the base? That's right. The professor asked me to. Neat, huh? So you're a victim of the society too, huh? Never mind. Here I go. I'll see you later. She really is a naive child. She's a victim of all this too. Twisted and manipulated. I wonder where her actual parents are. If they're even still alive. That's creepy. Because it wouldn't be a evil villain if he didn't play a giant pipe organ. Welcome aboard the Glorious. It has been a long time since we've last met, Estelle. Ah, Professor Alba. I thought it was you. I'd finally remembered when I heard your voice a minute ago. Cassius Bright's daughter continues to impress. The seal on your memory wasn't particularly strong, but throwing it off on your own is still worth of some manner of praise. My apologies. I've yet to introduce myself. My true name is Georg Weissman. I am one of the Anguis, supervisors of the Society. An Anguis. So you're like one of the high commanders of the Society. Something like that. Now, as I said, I'm completely prepared to answer any questions you have here. What would you like to ask first? Honestly, there's quite a lot. I don't even know where to start. You needn't fret. Take your time thinking things over. If it pleases you, I could play a relaxing interlude while you collect your thoughts. Yeah, I think I'll pass. You know, you didn't strike me as someone who'd be into this sort of thing. Well, whatever. Here's a question for you. Was the whole poor archaeologist thing just a total act or what? Putting the poverty aside, I actually am an archaeologist. And as an aside, I picked up the pipe organ during my time with the church. I may not be that Erebonian you spend so much time with, but I dare say I'm decent, wouldn't you? Hang on, the church. Like the Septian Church. I was something of an academic priest. A chance meeting with the Grand Master led me to discarding that path of faith. My knowledge of artifacts, partly as it is, still proves useful from time to time, thankfully. With our current plan in particular. So the one who tempted Colonel Richard into starting a coup, and the one who arranged all that gospel bullshit, it was you. It certainly was. And it was all for the sake of our cause. Your gospel plan. I saw something in the research facility about that. Your plan is to take the Oriel, isn't it? Take the Oriel. That's not entirely accurate. But, for the purposes of this conversation, it will suffice, yes. What is the Oriel anyway? Why do you want it so bad? I know it's said to be one of the treasures of Adios, but just what is it? Ah, for a moment, I must keep the exact nature of the Oriel a secret. I would, after all, hate to spoil the surprise. The surprise, right, thanks. Our plan has moved into its third phase. Very, very soon its true nature will be plain to see. I could barely contain my anticipation. And once the Oriel has shown itself, then we will see the potential of mankind unfurl before our eyes. The potential of mankind. Rangard said something about that. Ragnar. Keep calling him Rangard. Ah, the holy beast was willing to bestow his wisdom upon you. Perhaps you are doing more than simply living in your father's shadow. Oh, spare me the flattery. And what the hell? I keep asking you things and you keep dodging questions. Do forgive me. It wasn't my intention to be so evasive. I can honestly say, however, easily answer the question I know you are on to ask the most. What keeps you from asking it? Don't be afraid. Muster your courage and ask for it. Where is Joshua? His exact location is currently unknown to me. From what I've observed, he's up to something with those sky bandits. Their movements have proven to be quite elusive. Though he is alive and well, I can assure you. Okay. Joshua's specialties are covert operation and guerrilla warfare. I was the one who turned him to excel at such. But he has long since surpassed even my greatest expectations. I gleefully await seeing the height of his potential. You. Come now, you needn't look so angry. When Joshua was entrusted in my care, his heart was akin to a glass ornament, dashed against a paving stone. He was my first attempt at rebuilding such a shattered soul. It was not natural, you think, for an academic to be curious about the results of his work? What did you tell Joshua on the day of the Queen's birthday celebration? I merely removed the block on his memory and told him the truth. That he, once taken into your home, had unwillingly been acting as a spy and sending guild information to the society. That Richard's coup succeeded in its own right because of him. And finally, that thanks to his efforts, the ground was at least fertile for our plan. I even rewarded him. I formally released him from his obligations to the society. I get it. Why Joshua the night, why he disappeared. Why he said goodbye with that look on his face. Yes, I must say I did find that regrettable. To think Joshua would abandon you so coldly after regaining himself. I recommended he just pretend he knew nothing of it and continue his life with you, but alas. I suppose my generosity backfired, no? I'm amazed. I'm amazed you can even say that. You were the one who chased Joshua into that corner in the first place. He didn't have a choice. So he had to look like that and give his harmonica to me. He said goodbye, Estelle. All of it. Every last bit. It's all your fault. Louvet. Where the hell did you come from? I was here from the start. You simply didn't bother to notice. Tisk tisk. What an undignified performance. All the enforcers. You perform so well in completing my challenges, too. Did I not teach you to think before you act? Come on, give her some credit. It takes balls to pick a fight with him. Agreed. Regardless of our skills, her courage is certainly impressive. Though I wonder if I would call it courage or foolishness. Ah, crap. So you're the Divine Blade's daughter. This would be the first time we've met. I am Enforcer number 0, Campanella the Fool. Nice to meet you. Another one. Stop it, guys. You're scaring Estelle. Ren 2. You don't need to worry, Estelle. I know what I said last time, but we aren't here to hurt you. I promise. Huh? Hey, Professor. Why not ask Estelle right now? Well, now is as good a time as any. How about it, Estelle? Would you like to join Ouroboros? What? I'm sorry, I must have misheard that. Would you say that one more time? I asked if you would like to join the Society of Ouroboros. You wouldn't be a full-fledged enforcer right away, of course. You would be more of a candidate. You would be more a candidate for the position. What? Are you insane? Come now. It's hardly the leap of logic you're thinking. Joshua's been rather stubborn about returning, though with you here, he would return undoubtedly come back to us. And to you. Estelle, you want to see Joshua again more than anything else, right? If you join us, that'll come true right away. What's there to even think about? But, Now, Ren, Estelle might need some time to weigh her options. We will be departing the ship for a little while on business. You may give us your answer when we return. And I do apologize for this, but your options will remain fairly limited during your stay. Feel free to request anything you need, but you will remain staying in your cabin. What an asshole. If I join the society, I'll see Joshua again. That's all but guaranteed. Besides, I don't have to join them for real. I can just, pretend to join them and learn more about how they operate. I'm not the best actress in the world, so it might be hard, but it's better than just being locked up. No, that's stupid. This isn't the way to do things. Pardon me. Louvet. You. Heh, no need to be so on guard. I have no intention of harming you, though if you try something like that little stunt of yours earlier, I may now have other choice. Well, so sorry. What are you doing here anyway? Weren't you guys out for something? The professor and the others are the ones who will be advancing the plan. I'm staying behind and minding the Courageous. The Glorious. I keep calling it the Courageous. That's a different ship. What is it you people are planning on doing? If you wish to find out, why not accept the professor's invitation? You'll learn most of our plans if you do. Heh. Seems you have your answer. But if you're hesitating, aren't you? If you want my advice, Estelle Bright, you are not suited for the Society of Ouroboros at all. In both ability and personality. Man, do you have to be completely blunt about it? Don't misunderstand me. The potential for the necessary skill is within you. But your personality. You have too little darkness within you to be a part of Ouroboros. Darkness. All those in service to the Grandmaster bear some kind of darkness on their shoulders. Myself, the Professor, even the other enforcers. Joshua too, needless to say. Hey, what is your relationship to Joshua anyway? Our relationship. Joshua was weirdly focused on you. He seemed to know who you were even though he didn't recognize you with the mask on. And on top of that, it seemed like he had been desperate to find out who you were. That doesn't surprise me. The professor sealed part of his memory away. He was hypnotized in such a way that the moment he left the society, he could remember very little about us. Even if he remembered his actions as part of the society, he could not remember his confidants. That would have been the core of his dilemma. The memories of his childhood would be the same. Even if he remembers Karen, he likely would only have loosely remembered me. That's why. Wait, Karen? I've heard that name before. Karen Astray. A childhood friend of mine and Joshua's older sister. She died 10 years ago. That harmonica you have was originally hers. Joshua held onto it as a memento, and then passed it on to you. Joshua had an older sister. How? How did she die? I hope you know what you're really asking. The answer to that question requires staring to the abyss in which Joshua and the rest of us reside, and it will stare back. Are you prepared for that? Tell me. I don't know if I'm ready for what's coming, but I want to know what kind of path Joshua followed. If nothing else, I have to know that. As you wish. It was a little over 10 years ago, back when you could still see the village of Hamel on maps of Erebonia and Liberl. Hamel was a tiny little place. There weren't many young people, so the three of us were always together. I dreamed of becoming a bracer and spent my free time practicing swordsmanship. Karen and Joshua would watch and encourage me. That was how we whiled away the days. Once I was done with practice, we would turn our ears to Karen's harmonica. Karen would play anything on that harmonica. Anything, but my favorite was an old Erebonian folk song, The Whereabouts of Light. It seemed like that bliss would last forever. We believed that. We had no reason to doubt it. The day dawned and began just like any other. And then they came. A band of invaders, garbed in black and armed with Liberlian weaponry, came from nowhere. They encircled the village and slaughtered everyone in sight. We were spared. None were spared. Not the old and infirm, not the young and defenseless, not even infants. Those who killed quickly in the opening moments were the luckiest by far. And the women, even in this telling, there are some things I will not recount. We fled desperately from that hell. We were lucky to be in the position to escape when the attack began. We fled to the outskirts of the village, the screams of our own families carried out on ears on the wind. Once we'd gotten to the outskirts, I told Karen and Joshua I would act as bait to confuse any pursuers. I promised them I would catch up to them as soon, and sent them ahead. But the attackers, they laid their plans well. The people had people in position to deal with any who tried to flee. When I finally caught up to them, the scene was strangely quiet. A man, dead, shot through the throat. Joshua with a gun in his hand, dumbstruck, and Karen holding Joshua with a horrific wound on her back. She was barely breathing at that point. Even now, the scene seemed surreal to me. Karen was calm and content. She entrusted her harmonica to Joshua, then asked that I take care of him. And then she died quietly there in that clearing. Why, hon? Why did that? The Empire invaded Liberl almost immediately afterward. A defenseless little village, its inhabitants slaughtered by men with Liberlian arms. It was almost too perfect an excuse to invade. It can't be. Liberlian troops doing that? When the local garrison found us, they were adamant the invaders were Liberlian. When the war ended a few months later with the Empire's defeat, however, we were given a different tale entirely. They told us instead that a band of Jaeger dropouts had turned into brigandry. And they told us to never speak to anyone else of the attack. The Erebonian authorities announced that Hamel had been destroyed in a landslide, and all roads leading there were closed completely. Hold on, what? Why would they lie about that? Neither explanation makes sense. It's almost like, indeed. Everything was a fabrication by the warhawks of the Empire to justify an invasion of Liberl. At the end of the war, the ruse was discovered, and the Imperial government was thrown into a panic. They concealed a comprehensive peace and executed nearly everyone involved in the plot, all to pretend that it never happened. That, Estelle Bright, is the tragedy of Hamel in full. That was when Joshua's heart was broken entirely. He was now burdened with the torturous death of his sister, his parents, and everyone he knew, and even the shock of taking another man's life. How could that not shatter the soul of a 6-year-old boy? You've likely heard the rest from Joshua. His spirit was so wholly broken that he lost the will to do anything but play that harmonica. He began to waste away. That was when the two of us were found by Weissman. To save Joshua's life, I entrusted him to the Weissman's care and threw myself into Ouroboros' training. And then 2 years later, Joshua's repaired, as he was by Weissman followed the same path. That is darkness, Estelle Bright. Do you understand what sort of gulf separates you and Joshua? Do you understand what he stares into every day? I do. Yeah. Now I really understand why Joshua left. Hey, next time you see him, tell Weissman thanks, but no thanks. I will never join Ouroboros. It's not because I like or dislike this society, but as long as I'm going to pull Joshua back over that gulf you mentioned, forget it. Although I do feel kind of bad about letting Ren down after she went through all the trouble to invite me. You'll think she'll forgive me if I say I'm sorry? You're one of a kind, Estelle Bright. To hear those horrors and thus lose your hesitation. You are truly more than the daughter of the Divine Blade. Thanks for the compliment, I guess? You say all that, but you care about Joshua too, right? You guys were friends. Or maybe more like brothers. Let me be absolutely clear. That was 10 years ago. To me now, he is nothing more than a rogue element to be eliminated. What? The professor seems to enjoy letting Joshua do as he pleases. I have a different plan in mind. Sooner or later, I will have to deal with him personally. Wait a second. What the hell is this? Karen asked you to take care of him. Doesn't that mean anything to you? I have my own path I've chosen for myself. I've dedicated myself to my goal. And any who stand in my way shall die by my blade. Not even Karen's final request will stop me. How can you... Ah! Ouroboros scout ships. Those are the professor and the others. It looks like the third stage of the plan is getting underway. The third stage, what's? That is not for you to know. Once we've finished, you'll be returned to your father. Behave until then. Now as one final note, don't even think of attempting to escape. The Glorious is 8,000 arge above ground. You have nowhere to run. Don't even think of attempting escape, he says. And if he doesn't know that he's a human nature opposite, wait, if he doesn't know that it's human nature for me to want to do the exact opposite. Besides, he's the only enforcer on board. Alright, why not? Let's do this. Timing is going to be everything. If I can figure out, I'll be good. Let's see. I'll wait a couple of hours until they let their guard down, and then it's worth a shot. So this is a memento of Karen. You shouldn't throw away something like that so easily, you idiot. There is a third survivor of Hamel. And you will meet him in another day, on another day, in another story. Time to change shifts. Enhanced Jaeger, how's the girl acting? Quiet as a mouse. She might be a bracer, but she's still just a kid. Probably curled up in bed, scared out of mind. Babysitting while everyone else is out sucks. This is boring. I wanted to get out there and get into action. Quit your whining. These are Leon Hart's orders, and hell if I'm not gonna follow his instructions to the letter. Eh? What's that sound? What are you doing? You don't think she escaped? Damn it! That stupid girl. Does she not get where she is? Is she trying to kill herself? Ah, Gehenna, take me right now. She probably fell. You've got to be kidding me. What are we going to tell Leonhardt? That'll let us keep our heads anyway. That damn brat, nothing but a load of trouble. Damn brat, huh? You. Nice try, old man. Ugh. Never underestimate a bracer. First of all, don't think that was a little rude calling a sweet maiden like myself a damn brat. It wasn't me. And call you that, I swear. Oh, you didn't? Well, you didn't correct your buddy either. Either way, it's nap time for you. Oh, that was just mean. Reinforcements are probably going to get here really quick, so I should book it. There's got to be some way off of this boat. And I won't give up. Not until I see Joshua. You won't stop for anything, Louvet. Well, neither will I. Okay, 30 minutes of dialogue is not going to make an interesting video, so... These are just more cabins. Any loot, though?
Alright, we rule!
I don't know what you expected. A funny message? Oh, that's a big one.
We're good to go!
Yeah, I feel like taking the upper path is the right way. I probably could fight my way through those things, but it's probably better just to go around them. Yeah, I'm gonna have to worm my way around these. Oh, it won't even let me go in there. Probably for the best. Well, I'm on the deck. Okay. Okay. What a pathetic showing, Estelle Bright. Huh? You don't recognize me with the helmet, do you? Well, fine then. Look into the face of the one who bested you. You remember me at last. I doubt you ever thought to encounter me again, even within your worst nightmares. I love how... Who are you again? The second son of the Capua Sky Bandits? Yeah, that's Gilbert Stein. Oh, I think I remember you. You were Mayor Dalmore's servant or something. How can you be so uncertain? Yes, I am Gilbert, former student of Mayor Dalmore. You can't even remember those you have arrested. Unbelievable. Well, excuse the hell out of me for being surprised. I mean, first of all, didn't we hand you over to the army for trial and stuff? How did you even manage to get here? You doubt my resourcefulness during the coup. I managed to escape in the chaos. Shortly thereafter, ouroboros found me, and so I pledged my allegiance to them. I don't know whether to call you tenacious or stupid. Are you seriously a Jaeger now? You're not actually gonna fight, are you? And again, you underestimate me. I'm a prodigy of the sword, as much as the pen, a master of both. Uh-huh. I remember how you screamed back when you got roughed up by those special op guys at the lighthouse. You cried like a bitch. Do you really think you're cut out for combat? It was all high-pitched, too, like a little girl. Silence! I've been a huge number of combat enhancement programs since I first entered the Society's service. My physical abilities have been greatly increased, and my knowledge for battle tactics is unparalleled. You don't think you can best me again, Bracer scum? You know what's quiet, Gilbert? Confidence. Insecurity. Now that's loud. Oh, for the love of God. Just play along for now. They are having nothing to do with him. I'm gonna beat him like a redheaded stepchild.
Let's see what color your blood is.
Yeah, he's like a child. Okay.
What color your blood is.
Hey, do me a favor and shut the fuck up.
It's just a flesh wound.
I kind of like how this throwaway guy became a pathetic wuss of a villain. He shows up in Cold Steel 3, and he's just as much of a sniveling coward there as well. Except he's less of a pushover. No, excuse me, Cold Steel 4 is where he shows up.
Piece of cake.
How in the world? Impossible! We outnumber her! See, that's what a bracer can do, you jerkwad. She's Cassius Bright's daughter, alright. We should not have underestimated her. Right then, pop up the safeties. Surprised, are we? Behold, one of the gifts of Ouroboros. Our bodies surge with power of the Society's technology. Okay. Just in time. Looks like you're having a hard time. Allow me to assist. That won't be necessary. She put up quite a fight, but we'll wear her down eventually. You're welcome to watch, of course. I wasn't talking to you. What are you... Joshua! What? What are you doing? I'm sorry, but you're not cut out for this. Really, what were you thinking? You may be a full bracer, but you're still a total loose cannon. What were you going to gain by trying to fight them all by yourself? Joshua? This isn't a dream, is it? Things would be nicer if it were a dream. Unfortunately, reality isn't so convenient. You finally show yourself. It's been a while, Louve. You knew I would find my way on board. It was entirely possible given your skills. Still, I'm curious as to how you actually managed it. Aboard one of the scout ships that went ahead of the Glorious to check its route. None of the enforcers were about, so it was fairly trivial to sneak in. You even guessed that Weissman would request the Ark. You really haven't lost your touch, Black Fang. All thanks to you. Though it was always a bit nerve-wracking wondering if it were you or someone else would find me. There are a few who can see through your skills, but stealth has its weaknesses. The instant someone notices you, you lose your advantage. You have lost your advantage, Black Fang. What do you think a Fang can do against the Blade Lord? Wait. For your information, Louvet, I'm still plenty ready to go. I don't care how strong you are. We won't be easy to take on. Stand back, Estelle. Louvet is too powerful, more so than both of us combined. And knowing that, you still came here. Some might call that naive, but I know you better than that. What drove you to leave her here in the first place? If you wish to protect someone, protect them. If you wish to cut them from your life, then do it completely. Did I not teach you that? Did I not teach you to be thorough? To be decisive? Yeah, you did. That was the very first lesson you taught me after Weissman was done tuning me. If she means that much to you, you should have never left her side. You should have stayed with her, tormented by guilt or otherwise. The fact you didn't is just another form of escapism, nothing but deceit. I know that, Louvet. I know what you're trying to tell me. Do you really, Joshua? In that case, how about you, Louvet? This should have been my price alone to pay, my burden. And yet you joined the society too, and now they call you Blade Lord. Why are you still working with Weissman? My cooperation with Weissman was nothing to do with you. I do so because of my desires. Your desires? You mean about Karen? Petty revenge won't bring Karen back. So if I want to see her death as worth it, I want to put humanity to the test. That's why I'm working with the professor. To put humanity to the test. Enough talk. You have three options. You and the girl both surrender. You protect the girl and you die, or you abandon the girl and escape yourself. Make your choice. I'm sorry, but I'll be taking option 4. You. I fiddled with the orbital engines a little. Left alone, the Society's glorious Ark will be another wreck on the ocean floor. Hey Joshua, could you maybe warn me when you... You really are a magician. You need authorization for the engine room, so I didn't think you'd be able to worm your way in there. I altered each one of the 22 engines in a slightly different manner. Weissman could sort it out, maybe Ren too, but with them gone, the only one left is you, Louvet. A final ace in the hole to put a stop to a plan. Well done. But to use it now, how long do you intend to keep deluding yourself? I hope you have an answer when next we meet. I'll be looking forward to it. Joshua, we can talk later. I've got an airship prepared for an escape. We need to head down to the stairs ahead of us and get to the hangar. Joshua's leading the way. And he's still going by a stray. I'm going to end this one here. Thank you all for watching. Join me next time on The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, 2nd chapter, as we make our daring escape from the Society. But until then, I am the TheDarkSeraph, signing off.